Blake, how are you, buddy?
Are we out there?
I think we are. We out there, Michael?
We should be out there.
Oh,
I am
Should
checking.
be out there.
Sending data is what it says. So
Sending
Send
data.
them that data.
Do you say data or data?
I see data.
Let's see.
Data. We're data driven.
All
no,
our
we're not.
social media is filing in.
There we go. Filing it.
File in.
File in Facebook,
Yeah.
YouTube, Periscope,
Right.
Twitch.
Wouldn't
No,
be.
we're not on
Twitch
Twitch.
is coming soon.
Yes.
Coming soon. So we are live,
Hey-o. So are we live?
Mike?
Are
Can
we
you
out there?
confirm?
Confirmed.
Hey,
Hey-o.
wow. Blake was gonna swear too.
They've
That'd
probably
be
just
so
they've probably
awkward.
just listened to that whole last 3 minutes.
Nah,
what
that's
the hell
okay.
are these guys up to?
Right. Highly
Jesus.
professional. Welcome in, Playmakers. We're going to get the show out. Mike's sending it out here shortly. Go ahead, like, retweet, comment. Get in here. We're talking XFL. We got to recap the Super Bowl. We want to dissect if the Chiefs won it or the Niners blew it.
Oh,
Question
man.
of the week. We got to talk about Sparty, too. A lot of things going on there. So much to talk about. So little time, but we're glad you are here, people. Did anyone win Super Bowl squares?
So I didn't win. However, Big Play Eddie, I think, won 1 or 2.
Wow, that a boy,
Yeah.
Ed.
Yeah.
You seen any of that? You're his favorite kid.
Oh boy! Don't start that.
Oof, I know that always helps.
No. He I forget which quarter he won. Him and then my soon-to-be brother-in-law. They each won a quarter.
I realized something this week. Every
Although-
contest I enter.
Although my brother-in-law had 0 and 0, he had the 2 best numbers.
Oh,
you know.
okay. I got you. I realized something this week. Every contest I'm in, a bachelor wins it, and you know how they are. They're gonna go buy beer with it.
Right. It's beer
And me,
money.
I'm going to, buy groceries and shit because I'm old and have kids and whatnot. But they always win. So, whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, come on in. If you have a betting gripe, go ahead and bring it in. I put money on the Gatorade was going to be purple as a tribute to Kobe. Got a lot of action. I bet on it when it was 6-1. It ended up going even.
That's loud.
was
That
me.
needs
Sorry
to be
about that,
muted. Are
guys.
we ready to go, Mike? What do you think, brother?
We are ready to go. Yep. Sorry, I had to update our Periscope one. My fault.
That's okay.
Actually, our tweet from Big Play and mine are out as well.
They are
So you don't have
out.
to worry
Yep.
about
So
that.
we are good to go, my man. Let's hit it.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna start hitting some music, bro.
File in, Playmakers. Let's talk. Let that voice be heard. This is your show, people. Hello, Playmakers. What is happening? It is Wednesday, February 5th, the first Wednesday of February. We are the Big Play Podcast coming at you live and in living color. Somewhat live. None of the links in Twitter are working or Periscope.
Hey, that's all right.
So if you saw the tweet come out, guys, click on the actual link. Normally it comes up by itself. Just click on the link. So nothing we can do about it. Dave apparently forgot to load up his AOL disk into the mainframe here. So he's going to have to go to Giant Eagle, get 50 more hours. But anyways, we're still here. I'm your boy, the host, Big Play J. Follow me at Twitter at the Big Play J. The gentleman to my left, the pride of Stark County, our favorite lineman, the future father of Weston, Big Play Blake. What's going on, brother?
Not much, gentlemen. How we doing?
Good. How's your week?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
Not too bad. Trying to get everything done for this big snowstorm hits up here.
Yeah, already started.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a shitstorm just hit because the show's not live on some of those links, but that's okay. We're still here. Mike,
Which
what
links?
is going on? The gentleman to my right, no, he's not Gardner Minshew.
Although that headband is exquisite.
He is the brunch bomber. I saw him eat half a loaf of pumpernickel bread and spinach dip Sunday. He is Big Play Beats. What's going on, brother?
Oh, I feel like the fat kid version of Popeye right now. Like, I just ate a ton of spinach dip and pumpernickel bread, and I just got fatter quicker.
Popeye with
instead of my
carbs.
muscles. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
he was in all of his glory. So
Oh
it
my
was on the
gosh.
table. It was obviously the centerpiece of what they were trying to do of
It was
the,
like
the
part of the
whole
spread.
presentation. And eventually, Mike I think he got fed up with it being like pretty. He's like, well, I'm taking that down.
Just like
so he just broke it.
like a velociraptor.
Just broke it.
No manners,
it.
just straight with my hands.
Yeah.
Tore it apart.
Yeah. Why use a knife when you have hands?
Yeah. He's working on his mentals and
Are
chicken.
you the guy at Outback that like eats the whole little loaf? You just take it the whole thing.
No, absolutely not. I'm a sharer. I'm a carer. I don't know.
That's right. We established that last
Yeah,
week.
I'm a
I
lover.
forgot.
That's right.
He's eating that blooming onion.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, guys, we're hungry. We've got a great show for you. We hope you're hungry too as well because we've got a variety tonight. First off, in our Fast Five, we're going to sum up the top week's sporting events in 12 seconds or less per category.
right.
We got to talk to you millennials. Hell no, hell yeah. We're going to dissect whether the Chiefs won it or the 49ers blew it. We had two blockbuster trades, one of which being in the NBA, one in MLB. We got to talk about those two as well. And then we're going to bring in a special guest. The XFL kicks off this weekend, and we're going to talk to a wide receiver, someone who was wonderful in college, all conference and two conferences. Now he's a wide receiver for the Houston Roughnecks, Jalen Saunders. So looking forward to talking to him. We're going to do a quick fringe bench, not going off in the world of fringe sports, though it's almost that time.
It's getting there.
It is almost that time. An impression session, we're going to bring back my inner Vince McMahon. I'm looking forward to this. The leather jacket and all. I'm going to try not to yell XFL too much during the show, despite my shirt and my attitude.
We need the intro music. No chance. We need the intro music.
Do I need to do that
Oh
walk?
my gosh.
Yeah. The McGregor walk.
Yeah. But before we can do there, Michael, let's transition. Let's do the fastest 5 minutes in sports. I think it's about 5 minutes or less if you add it up. It's the Fast Five. Well, if we are anything, we are yes men, Blake, and we like to satisfy our audience. Our audience are millennials, Mike's people. That's right. They also eat spin dip. They might even put them on
I like that
toast.
you shortened it for me.
Did you just?
Yeah.
He just did it.
Did you just
called
abbreviate
it spin dip.
that?
He called it spin dip like 3 times. Side note.
Of course he
come
did.
on.
You would have loved it, by the way. He was calling out every formation Sunday.
Were
like
you Tony,
really
were
loud.
you Tony Romoing it over there?
He was.
Was he the annoying guy at the party? Like, oh, they're gonna do this.
No, that was me. But anyways.
Oh.
In the Fast Five, we cater to our millennial audience. We got Sue's coming in. Hey, Big Play from Maslin. What's going on, Sue? Thanks for tuning in here. Those are our folks that are 22 to 37. They were born between 1981 and 1996. Their average attention span is 12 seconds. That's not much longer than my 4-year-old.
No.
Soon to be 4-year-old, I should probably.
Nope.
Anyways. So we're going to sum up the week's top sporting stories in 5 words or less.
Got
Each
it.
category has 12 seconds. Blake, let's start with the NFL and NCAA football. Go!
Fitzmagic will linger into 2020. Brady's cryptic Instapost rules. Jags to play in London twice. Mahomes early 2020 MVP favorite. Reed finally gets his Lombardi.
Wow. Impressive.
That's right,
I'm
man.
What about-
not mad at that at all.
What about college football? Go!
Hall of Fame Reed back at you. SEC schools get $44.6 million. Marvin Lewis, ASU co-DC.
Boy, Marvin Lewis has 9 lives.
That guy.
This might be his 10th.
That guy. I don't know, 1, how he kept the job in Cincinnati as long as he did, and 2, how he got another job.
He was about as electric as a power outage during his AAF coverage.
Right.
He was awful.
Yeah.
Did
So
you hear
bad.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
he
was
is
like
quite
Ben
dull.
Stein.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Wow, clear eyes. Let's talk MLB. It was a big week. We're going to talk about the big trade. But in the meantime, Rose applies for reinstatement. Granderson retires after 16 years. Rocky's Story, Inc. extension.
Great move for Colorado.
Yes, great move for Colorado at a decent price, too.
Yeah, I was
man.
going to say, that was a friendly deal for them, all things considered.
Blake, real quick, should Rose get back in? His premise is good. The
Of
Houston
course.
Astros players aren't going to be punished.
I said it a couple of weeks ago when we talked about the scandal. If you're going to slap them on the hand, and I think we're all in agreement that what they did is far exceeds what Pete Rose did, right?
Right.
So you've essentially banned him from the sport,
Yep.
but not these other people.
No, you haven't.
And he's using that as leverage. So more power to him. I say go get it, Pete.
Right. Mike, speaking of hustle, are you ready to hustle through the NBA categories? You're the millennial. You should be really good at this. Go.
Iguodala to Miami, $30 million extension. Capella joins Young in Atlanta. Bucks still ahead in the East. We're going to go over to the West. Morant, Burns, Iguodala and Curry. Lakers holding on to West lead. Changes to all-star format.
Wonderful.
Wow.
That was your best week. Wow.
Well done.
He's got a lot of fiber in him. I can attest to that. So you guys saw the all-star format change, right? Yeah. And at first, this is really confusing.
Yeah,
so let's kind of explain this. So there'll be essentially 3 traditional quarters, but each quarter will be a new game.
Right.
And each quarter, or game, if you will be played for charity.
Right.
This is a wonderful premise. I like this.
Yeah.
I think it's the NBA finally acknowledging that this is an exhibition.
Right.
Let's just make it that.
Yeah, it has no like MLB, the winner gets home field advantage in the World Series.
Right.
NFL, there's not really not a purpose, but there's not really anything at stake.
Right.
So same with the NBA.
Exactly. And I like it. And then the fourth quarter, of course, will be a game to 24. And
Right.
will actually determine the winner of the All-Star game. I love it. Guys, too, a reminder, we're having issues. Well, Twitter's having issues as a whole, Twitter and Periscope. So we sent out the show on our various Twitter feeds. Click on the actual link or join us on Facebook or YouTube. Guys, let's talk Super Bowl 54, if you don't mind, for a second here.
Yeah, let's get it.
Blake, I'm going to ask you a simple question. I know there's a complex answer here, and let's be timely with these guys just because we got our guests coming up. Did the 49ers blow or did the Chiefs win it, in your opinion?
I think the Chiefs won it. I really do. I think they did what was... Well, I think we talked about it last week on the show. They limited the big plays. I think the Niners had one play of 30 or more yards, and it got called back. Was that Kittle completion? So,
Right.
So they did everything I said they needed to do. Limit big plays, get off the field. At first, it didn't look like they were going to do that. The Niners looked really good going in, and then the light bulb went on, and you know they did what they did, and I think. You know, the common theme has been the Niners blew it, but I don't think people were giving the Chiefs enough credit for really making their mark on that.
I agree.
Game.
It's crazy to think that we're a slight overthrow by Jimmy G away from a very different conversation.
Yeah.
He's the MVP. They
Yeah.
win. It's the beginning of a dynasty.
Right.
Instead, we have these questions. Mike, speaking of which here, when we look at the 49er side, do you think Shanahan gets the blame here, or is this a Jimmy G thing?
I think you have to take it as the head coach. I don't think Jimmy G played that bad. He played well enough. They had the lead. They just couldn't stop them when they needed to.
Right.
And then if you think about that pass interference call for Kittle, to me, I don't know how you call that when you don't call the one at the end of the Vikings-Saints game, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I just don't understand it. So I think it goes on Shanahan. You got to find a way to win the game. If I'm a quarterback, I'm going to take the ownership. But at the end of the day, head coach. So
this is Shanahan's second big fall in the playoffs. Remember, he blew that 28-3 lead as the OC at the Falcons too as well. Ryan Sumser chimes in. It's kind of like the NHL All-Star game comparing the NBA. The only difference is America actually watches this game, not just Canada.
Wow,
so let's be honest there, right?
Hockey's a hell of a sport.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
He actually is talking about the split games between divisions.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Yeah. Well, you know what else I like, Mike? It's my favorite segment. It's called Hell No Hell. Yeah.
Sound eventually.
All right, Mike, we teased the big trades that happened this week. We had one in the NFL, one in the NBA, one in the MLB. Let's talk about the NBA trade first. Wow, a lot of acronyms here. It was a 4-team, 12-player trade, the highlights of which the Houston Rockets acquired Robert Covington from the Timberwolves. They sent 2 first-round picks, including the 2021 to the Timberwolves, and Clint Capella to Atlanta. The Timberwolves moved that 2020 first-rounder to Denver from Malik Beasley and Juan German Gomez. Mike, hell no, hell yeah, this trade puts the Rockets as a big likely destination for free agents in the next week.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. What?
So Covington was a great piece to grab after them. 3 and D, right? You can do it all. Do the 2 things they really need him to do, space the floor and hit the shot.
Right.
And then you move Capella to get assets And now they're talking Tristan Thompson, Andre Drummond, people like that are some of the targets possibly for the Rockets, among other teams. But those are two guys that are likely to possibly move here before 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think they really did set themselves up, and I think they know that their windows might be closing. Harden is at the top of his game right now, but we don't know when that drops off. So I think they're making their moves, and they want to be a contender this year.
Yeah, these are things. I always think of the Rockets as you hear in Hollywood character actors.
Yeah.
The Rockets are character actors.
They're
They're an
great
offensive team.
Yeah.
That's it. They've been proven, and they have to do things like this to mix up their lineup, and they've got to compete.
Right.
On the other side of things, Mike, the MLB. So the Red Sox traded Mookie Betts and David Price to L.A. The Red Sox got outfielder Alex Verdugi, pitcher Broodstar Gratterall. Wow, that's a mouthful. Gratterall. Hell no, hell yeah. Are the Dodgers now the favorites, in your mind, to win the NL?
Oh, hell yeah.
Give me a hell yeah. What?
I think if they're going out and making signings like this, you are taking
all
your shot this
I love
year.
it.
You're going
I love it.
absolutely all
Right.
in. I think it's a really nice move by them. But yeah, they don't want to miss anymore. They want to get it.
And by the way, are the Dodgers not the biggest baby faces in the MLB now that we know that the Astros are cheaters?
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Everyone's pulling for them.
Everybody wants the Dodgers to win now.
Usually, especially folks on the East Coast like us in the flyover state, think, no one cares about these LA teams. I'm kind of pulling for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them get their shot.
Yeah.
And a fair one.
I'd like Kershaw to get one.
Yeah. That's
what
Yeah,
I'm
he
rooting for the most,
deserves
I
it.
think.
Yeah, That I was just gonna say Kershaw. After you've seen him all these years, and he's one of those guys that's kind of been quiet. He doesn't make a big scene. Doesn't he's not real visual in the media. He's not real out there. So it's one of those guys that kind of you like him. I mean, he's not a bad guy. So you'd like to see somebody like Clayton Kershaw win one, especially after going through what they went through with the Astros.
Yeah. His reputation was tarnished so much over this.
Yeah.
And now we find out that maybe it wasn't that true.
Right. That's what I was alluding to. He had such a black cloud hanging over him, and then this happened, and it kind of alleviated that a little bit.
Yeah.
So you'd like to see him kind of make that final push and get one.
Speaking of push, Blake, let's move on to you. After 13 years as head coach of the Michigan State Spartans, Mark D'Antonio decided to walk away from the program among speculation and a lot of controversy. Blake, hell no, hell yeah. Is he genuine in saying the pending lawsuit had zero to do with him stepping down?
Hell no.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
Let's look at it this way. Just given the timing, that should tell you enough about this decision. The day before National Signing Day, that's enough right there to tell me that that's not the only reason he did this. He gave us that generic response that we've heard from guys like Urban Meyer and everybody that's family time, health, kind of that generic kind of cookie cutter response. And this feels very reminiscent of the Pete Carroll situation at USC. It feels very similar to the Urban Meyer stuff at Florida. Kind of, you want to take him at his word, but there's just too much noise to ignore.
Right.
So it doesn't feel like that was the only reason he stepped away.
Hell no, hell yeah, Blake. Here's an interesting one. Is Michigan State an attractive coaching job right now?
Hell yeah.
Give me a hell yeah. What?
Despite the last 2 seasons, they've been a perennial powerhouse in the
Very
Big
consistent.
Ten. Very consistent for the last decade, in which D'Antonio's been there. It's a Power 5 conference job in the Midwest hotbed of football, so recruiting becomes that much easier. They've been able to recruit well out of state and out of region as well. Michigan's yet to really come back to that superstar relevance too.
Right.
So if you make the right hire, he brings in the right staff, you could take over the state of Michigan completely. I say that in terms of recruiting and popularity, things like that, not in tradition or anything like that. But and to me, I think there's a list of guys that make a lot of sense for the job as well.
Right.
Luke Fickell is one that comes to mind.
His name's out there.
Yeah, he makes a ton of sense. He's rumored to be holding out for a Power 5 job. He's comfortable with the area in recruiting. He's got big program experience at a school like Ohio State. So I think somebody like Luke Fickell makes a lot of sense. The other guy, I think that's, there's usually where there's smoke, there's fire, is Pat Narduzzi. He was the defensive coordinator for a decade at Michigan State. They know what he's all about. He's familiar with the program, familiar with the recruiting trail there. Another guy that makes a ton of sense. And then you have a slew of coordinators out there, too, that I think make make that job a good place to be.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Luke Fickell has enough name recognition for recruiting? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, to pull big recruits, you've got to have something behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, I mean, like I said, he was at Ohio State for a year, so he has the big program feel, and I think he's done well recruiting at Cincinnati. He hasn't had bad teams at Cincinnati per se. No. I think did they finish in the top 25 this year? I believe they did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Luke Fickell's name's out there for a number of reasons, most notably for his time at Ohio State, I think.
So what's realistic as a Michigan State fan for the 2020 season at this point?
I mean, I don't think they're in any, just because of the drama and everything. I don't think they're in any danger of winning the Big Ten or even their side of the Big Ten. To finish with 3 losses. I mean, I think that's safe. But if they have somebody come in, puts in a good system around what they have, I mean, they've shown they can recruit and fit guys to a system up there, because I would say D'Antonio ran a very specific system. Yeah, so
I would agree.
So yeah, I don't think that being competitive in the Big Ten's out of the question. I don't foresee them being as bad as they've been the last 2 years.
No, I agree.
I agree.
We have a surprise Hell No Hell Yeah coming in from the Playmakers. Ryan wants to know, Hell No Hell Yeah, Mike is succeeding at pulling off the Dave Grohl look.
Wow.
Jay,
well, that's easy for you to say, Ryan. Get the reference.
Do you guys have an answer?
Right. He's pulled it off Everlong.
Oh,
wow!
You are fighting Foo over there.
There you go. So that's a. Thanks,
that's
Ryan.
an absolute yeah.
Hell yeah!
What is a Foo fighter?
I don't know.
What is Foo?
I think it's a great band. That's who I think it is. Yep. Blake, let's talk XFL.
Yeah, Jay,
brother.
I was just going to say, so the XFL launches this weekend. 4 games on ESPN, ABC, and Fox. League starting out has a strong mix of talent, personalities, expertise. Hell no, hell yeah. Will this version of the XFL be the first non-NFL professional football league to work?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I'm absolutely feeling that.
Okay.
I love that one, by the way.
That's Jay.
Thank you.
That's not like stolen from everybody.
That is not Randy Savage.
That is 100%
So what
Jay.
makes you so confident?
A couple things. So people are naturally going to compare this to the AAF.
Right.
That's just the natural comparison. But at the end of the day, revenue, TV, quality of play will determine. AAF really had 1 of 3. I'd argue the quality of play was pretty good, right?
Yeah, wasn't bad.
So,
it was
one,
watchable.
the XFL has money.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon's worth $2.6 billion estimated.
With a B.
Yep.
If he needs more money, he's just going to sell his WWE stock. Pretty simple. Just like he did for his initial infusion from Alpha Entertainment.
Sure.
They've got the media partners, Fox, ABC, ESPN. You remember the original XFL had NBC, UPN, and what's now the Paramount Network.
Right.
So that's a good thing. These teams are in NFL City, so these people are familiar with the game. They're familiar with the process, and it's a learned habit where they're going to watch football on the weekends. I love that.
Right.
Last time they didn't focus on that. Teams like D.C., there were other cities that, in Florida that had teams, and it just didn't work, quite frankly.
Right.
And Oliver Luck, we talked to him a few months back, a very reputable face. Vince McMahon is not the face of this league.
No.
Oliver Luck is very reputable.
He's the wallet.
Guy.
They're being very pragmatic about how they're doing it. The deals are set up for the long-term success. And also, they should go to YouTube and check out our interview with Oliver Luck if they want that.
They should.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a pretty big
absolutely.
deal.
That was a great interview.
Well, speaking of great interviews, we got a guy on the line we want to talk to a little XFL here. Give me a transition, Mike.
Oh, yeah. I keep doing that.
All right, we got on the line a former all-conference wide receiver at Fresno and Oklahoma. He's been a part of 6 different NFL teams. He was most formerly at the CFL with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, too. Currently, he's a wide receiver at the Houston Roughnecks. Jalen Saunders joins us. Jalen, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
Good, my man. Thanks for taking some time tonight. So I'm curious, when you heard that Vince McMahon was relaunching the XFL, what were your first thoughts?
I was thinking, man, he's really going to pull a rabbit out the hat again. Definitely. Like Vince McMahon, he's definitely been successful in his leagues, obviously, with the wrestling, entertainment, and whatnot. So I have some confidence this is going to definitely pan out and, play its part out.
Right. So you find out that June Jones, a guy that you're obviously very familiar with from Hamilton, is getting the job there. How did you find out that you were on the radar and it's a possibility you guys would be reunited?
Maybe around, I would say somewhere around summertime. I was in the midst of getting some training done on my knee and whatnot in the off season, doing some therapy and whatnot. And June gave me a call and told me it was a possibility they were considering me and whatnot for the XFL because I entered my name for the draft and whatnot.
Nice. So far, Jalen, what would you compare, when you look at the level of play of the CFL, which is, widely been considered, very much the closest equivalent to the NFL. How would you compare that level of play? Obviously, you guys aren't in the regular season yet, but to what you've seen on practice fields and through the teams of the XFL?
Definitely some NFL guys out here. Some guys have been overlooked. Some guys who obviously haven't been having a chance. The XFL is great. It's going to be a great season and a great, I guess, way we can, present ourselves and our opportunities to the world who we exactly are on the football field.
Right. So, guys, we're talking to Jalen Saunders. Follow him on Twitter at Jalen6Saunders. Jalen, what can you tell us about the Roughnecks? We don't want any spoilers here. We know opening weekend's coming up. What kind of offense, defense are you guys running? What do you foresee the Roughnecks being? What type of team?
I feel like we're going to be real aggressive, and we're going to put up a lot of points. So that's just the way I think we're on the rock and roll, and that's just coming from me, in my opinion. But like I said, everyone else has their own opinion about June is and what we are exactly as a team. But we're definitely aggressive. We're going to be very aggressive, and putting up a lot of points.
Yeah, that's who would have figured that with June Jones that they had there. What can you tell us? So we all know him as kind of this offensive guru going all the way back to his days at Hawaii. What can you tell us about June Jones on the practice field? What kind of a coach is he? What do we not know about this guy?
We're a player coach. He's just very in tune with his guys. Trying to get the best out of everybody. From the quarterback to the kicker position, he wants the best for everyone. He wants outside of just he coaches you to become a better man, basically. And it's very harder to said than obviously me speaking it to you. You have to obviously experience what I'm saying, but he's definitely like a mentor to us as young men. Yeah.
So one of the interesting things that sets the XFL apart is the different rules. Quite frankly, they're very offensive centric. What's the transition been like? So from the college level, you're in the NFL, then the CFL, now the XFL. What's it been like getting used to these rule changes, and how do you see that progressing with your teammates too?
There's a couple of tweaks and things in there. NFL obviously is shorter hash marks. CFL, you have waggle motion. In the XFL, we have different tweaks and things to the 2-point conversion rule. Obviously, there's no field goals. The kickoff rule, overtime rule. Just a couple of tweaks. At the end of the day, obviously, what it comes down to is it's still football. People are going to line up and still run similar routes. People are still going to hit the same. People are going to make form tackles. It's still going to be the same game.
Absolutely. Guys, we're talking to Jalen. Follow him on Twitter. I don't know if we gave that out there earlier, but certainly we want to give him his recognition. He does some stuff on Twitter, at Jalen6Saunders. Jalen, one of the biggest names in this league is Bob Stoops, a guy you're very familiar with. How do you think his coaching style will translate to the XFL?
I think Bob has a familiar way of thinking, just like June. Very aggressive. And he likes to try to score a lot of points also. So it's going to be a great thing that Bob brings in there in Dallas. He's a great coach. Obviously, has a great background. Put up a lot of wins there at OU with us, and before me and after me. So I have a lot of hope in Bob and what he does with his team. I know a lot of people, whoever buys in with him, I think the team will do well. Honestly.
So, one of the things that comes up, and we talked about it earlier, Jalen, is the fact that, we all saw the first version of the XFL, and obviously it has its flaws, but, this seems much tighter. It seems much more prepared. What do you see in the league so far and the teams that you've observed that makes you confident that this is a league that's going to stick around and be successful?
Just the fact that everyone that's into this league, I mean, it's just obviously not just the Houston team, but everyone just throughout the league is bought in to here to play football, and I think that alone is going to keep the league around, I mean, obviously their quota for the league is for the love of football. I mean, if you really would come down to that, I mean, if you talk to every player that's playing in this league, their entirety of playing is because they love playing football. I mean, obviously there's checks involved after college and whatnot, but the real life of the deal is that we really just enjoy playing ball and whatnot. So that alone I think is going to get by for, however long the fans, players, and the coaches, buy, and whoever wants to buy into it, that's how successful this league will turn out.
All right, Jalen. So we're coming to you live here from Cleveland. We don't have a team. So one thing Blake, Mike, and I are doing tonight is we're choosing our teams. I'm putting my proverbial weight behind you guys here. Why should I and fans be confident in the Roughnecks,
Jay, that's
this
you.
season?
Hey, all I can tell you is or everything that TV is wanting.
Love it.
Right.
And
Love
in
it.
a great way in football.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Jalen, we appreciate your time, my friend. We're going to be watching you guys. We've got a full slate this weekend, guys. Make sure you check out the XFL. A lot of talent in this league. Saturday, 2 o'clock, we got Seattle visiting D.C. That's on ABC. 5 o'clock, we've got L.A. at Houston. Then Sunday, 2 o'clock on Fox, we've got Tampa Bay at New York. And then 5 o'clock on ESPN, we got St. Louis at Dallas. So we got a full slate. Jalen, thanks for your time tonight, my friend. Best of luck this season. We'll be watching.
Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, Jalen Saunders. I love that answer.
That was a great answer.
All right, guys.
Take care. Yeah, so I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
It has a much different feel than the AAF.
I feel like everything he just said was very confident. Like,
Yeah.
like it's been like everything he's witnessed so far just makes him feel very confident. Whereas, like, you heard some of those AAF guys talk and speak, and sometimes they kind of wavered a little bit. Whereas, and I've heard other interviews, and I'm sure we'll have some more guys on as the year goes on. That just sounded supremely confident in what they got going on.
Right. So. Jalen's an interesting guy. Check him out on Twitter. This is a guy. Look at his highlights. What a playmaker.
Yeah, he was. He was good at Oklahoma.
He was really good.
Everywhere he goes. It's a 4.4 running.
Yeah, he's fast.
Super fast.
He's a burner.
Super fast.
So you just said it, Jay. You're taking Houston then? That's your.
I am taking Houston.
Okay.
I got the Roughnecks.
Okay.
I knew I'd mess up and call him the Rednecks. At one
Rednecks.
point.
Oh, my God.
That poor guy. He's probably like, this and this guy. Blake, what do you think? I know you threw it out on Twitter earlier. A certain team liked it. I don't know if that's going to
The only team.
Is that going to sway him?
The
is what I
only
wanna
team.
know.
To,
Is
the
he
only
for
team to
sale?
react to it.
Does that buy your love?
So prior. Yeah, I bought my love. I'm being transparent.
All right.
I'm going with the DC Defenders.
All right.
Mostly because they have the most Ohio State Buckeyes.
Okay.
So a little hometown love for you.
Led by the legend, Cardell Jones.
Cardell. Yep.
I love him.
Yep.
He is one of my favorite. Like, so I am also a Buckeye
We
fan.
ain't
He's
here
one
to
of
play
my-
no school, Mike.
We ain't here to play no school.
Actually, we should bring. If we ever get him on, we'll do an impression session where he gets to pick his own tweets or quotes that you have to do.
I love that.
That would be perfect.
I love that.
I'll have to
Cardell,
talk.
we'd
I'll
love
have to-
it.
I'll have to talk to him about the time he hurdled my brother-in-law too,
That was in the playoffs, right?
like a human hurdle.
Like
right
full
over.
up over.
That's a big
He's an
boy, too.
Unbelievable athlete for
Yeah,
at his size.
for as
yeah.
big as he is. Oh yeah.
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 All right.
Yeah, so some very prolific names in this league. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Nah, I think so,
Mike,
too.
we know you have a personal connection to a certain team, but tell
yeah.
us who you have picked and why.
No surprise, I'm a Dallas Renegades fan. Good buddy, college roommate. He's going to be a quarterbacks coach there. He'll be working with Stoops, Hal Mummy. They got Landry there. They've got Cameron Artis-Payne.
Yeah.
What I love about it is they've got these guys who we see this across the XFL. These guys have made it already. They made the NFL. They've had a contract or so, and yet they're still out here playing. They're playing for the love of the game. They're playing to put on. And the one thing nobody's worried about money, right? When you start to have those doubts, then people are like, oh, do I really want to be here?
Right.
You don't see that quality. Are they going to play through that little nagging injury? No, probably not.
Right.
But now there's no concern about it. I can't wait. But yeah, Dallas Renegades. I'll be down there in March, early March. I'll probably see a couple games this year. There's in person. But yeah, I'll just kind of be following, watching them a little closer than the other teams.
You're also a big fan of the band Styx.
The jig is up. As a Steelers fan, I should.
I was going to
choose
say,
Renegades.
didn't who was playing the Steelers when they played that on the road and didn't realize that they
The
woke
Chargers.
up?
That was
yeah,
the
that was
Chargers,
it.
Chargers.
There were more Steelers fans in the crowd as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens. So, guys,
That
looking
ownership.
at the Vegas odds, and the thing to remember with a league like this is, since we've not seen one game,
Not one.
this is off of strictly coaching and roster. And guess who is favored at plus 250 to win the XFL championship? The Dallas Renegades.
Let's go. I think that offense
So you're a
is gonna
front
be-
runner, is what we're saying.
I mean, you have an air. Oh, I mean, I have connection, but you got air raid. You've got a team that's going to put up points.
Yeah.
wow.
I'm not doubting it.
Would you say Stoops is the most, obviously he's the most recognizable coach, right?
Right.
Would you say he's the best coach of this group?
That's tough. There are some solid.
Yeah, there's some really-
there are.
I was pleasantly surprised when all the coaches got announced at who was going to be in this league.
Yeah,
it
June
was
Jones
really
is one of
impressive.
them.
Yeah, June Jones. Yep, exactly.
Kevin Gilbride, he won 2 Super Bowls.
Yep.
There's a name. Pep Hamilton,
Pep Hamilton. Yeah,
quarterback known as like a quarterback guru.
right. So there's a
legitimate
lot
guy.
of big coaching names in this
Yeah.
league. A lot bigger than people give it credit for.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, as Mike mentioned earlier, go to YouTube, check out our interview with Oliver Luck. That was a fun night because he was supposed to call in. We had to call him.
Yeah.
We had never done that. We had a new phone system. Dave literally had to dial him via Skype.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
actually
it was
called,
hilarious.
So yeah, we called
And he just
him
picked up.
on- yeah.
Couldn't have been nicer.
Say
To
that
be
was,
fair, that was not on us.
That
right?
was not on us.
There was
No.
a transcription error on the other end. but-
that was
transcription
Big
error.
Play Podcast BB.
Yeah,
Not BC before Blake.
Oh, get the hell out of here with that crap. This guy.
All right, so we'll have to do a couple little side bets when our
We
teams
do.
play.
So the
I'm in.
last time we picked teams, the league failed miserably. I just want to point that out. Shout out to, I just sent my shirt from the, who was it? The Arizona Hotshots. I just put it in a Goodwill bag last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
A
actually have
fan
shirt?
sent me a Hotshots shirt.
Oh man.
Yeah, when we were naming teams. It was like the nicest thing. And
Well, I'm going to tag the defenders in this segment later. So
right. And just like
Some
the league,
DC
Blake,
swag.
that
Alright.
shirt faded after 4 weeks.
did you see what they're handing out at their first game?
What are they
The
handing out?
defenders.
What's that?
You know their logo is like a shield.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like it's a foam shield. like their logo.
Yes.
It's solid. It's
That's
good
that's
stuff.
reason enough to root for him, quite
Right.
frankly. Yeah. Ryan says, "Does Mike have a confession to make?" Mike,
I want
what's
to know
your
what I have to
confession?
confess to.
Man, Ryan knows a lot of information.
Did you
here.
really?
Is he
You
on
guys
this
really
side?
don't get that reference? It's a
Oh wow!
I got a confession to make.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I feel
Well,
better about
Ryan,
it.
will I
was like-
talk about it? That was a great video, by the way. Anyways, you know what else is great, Mike?
My favorite segment of
Your
all time.
favorite segment of all time. That is the French bench.
If it played the sound, that'd be sweet.
Boom, bam, bum, bum, bam, bum, bum, boom, bam, bum, bum, bam, bum, bum. We'll just go manual. Bam, ba-dum, ba-dum, bam, bam, bam. French bench.
What? Oh, there
There
it
it
is.
is.
I'm gonna bring it down that we're in here, but
Oh man.
By the way, I can't take Vince McMahon in this leather jacket in the back just going, "This is the XFL." Look at him.
I still like the Simpsons episode. The X
Right.
is for extreme.
Extreme. I feel like he doesn't have a shirt on under that jacket either.
Nah, just
he's got to be
just
warm.
hamburger meat hanging out. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
That-
just. Mm-hmm.
That was in Vegas too, if I remember.
It was.
Look
Or
at-
was it Vegas or Birmingham?
It was. I think it was Vegas, right? Because that's where they open it up.
Was it Vegas?
So
No.
you guys all know Brother Love, right? Remember
Right.
him?
Oh,
I love you.
All right.
Bruce Pritchard has a very famous podcast. I mean, check him out. Yeah. I mean, he gets like 1.5 million listeners a week. It's huge. He has an XFL episode, which was, to me, the most intriguing one. And he talked about this. Will tell you kind of how this league really was not thought out of. So they're on
The first time around.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
This
on
time's
the
different.
plane.
Let's clarify.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Don't at me. They're on the plane on the way to opening week. And Vince opens it up to the group. All right, guys, how are we going to start the game? Didn't know how they're going to start the game.
What?
That led to the chase. Remember, everyone ran into the middle to get the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 10 out of the first 12 games resulted in injuries.
Yeah.
They also had these cheerleaders that they developed storylines about. One was a doctor. One was a lawyer. No, it turns out the lawyer worked as a desk clerk in a lawyer's office, the majority of which were, how should you say, dancers of a sort?
Entertainers.
Entertainers,
is a
if
very
you
good way to
will.
put that, yeah.
Paid entertainers.
But it's like the 30 for 30. That podcast is absolutely fascinating.
I'll check that out.
None of which, yeah, seriously, download that. You'll love it. None of which is indicative of what we'll see this season.
Right. Speaking of wrestling.
Speaking of wrestling, in the world of pro wrestling, Goldberg returned to SmackDown. He is returning to SmackDown on Friday. Dave is already smiling and probably concussed just hearing that news. This might set up his matchup on Super Showdown on February 27th. Yes, Blake, they're doing another Saudi pay-per-view.
Another one.
Another cash grab. Ironic, Goldberg is there. Andrade Cien Almas, fresh off his engagement to Charlotte Flair, was suspended for a wellness policy violation. So this is funny, guys. In the WWE, they have what's called a wellness policy.
Right.
Wait,
And
what
they
was that?
never say it's called a wellness policy. I don't know why I did that.
I don't either.
Oh. Anyways, they never say why that person was popped.
Right.
You could do crack, you could do steroids.
Same thing.
Same thing, according to them. So,
Crack and stare.
same thing. Right?
Yeah.
I heard the steroids are gateway. Anyways,
Which
no, we won't
evidently,
go there.
there is conflicting reports about this
Yeah.
wellness policy violation, and that he's going to fight it.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Mike, he's going to be popped for a wellness violation for too much fiber from that loaf of bread and spin dip he ate this weekend. Look at him. He is so regular.
Hopefully, there's
right
no
now.
poppy seeds in that dip. Huh?
Yeah, right. This will be Mike's last week on the show. And Mike, the moment you've been waiting for, I feel like you would like this show. Total Bellas season 5.
Double
returns on
prego.
April 5th. That's
Yeah.
right.
Double
Yes.
pregnant
Yep.
They're both pregnant?
at the same
They're
time. They're
both
due
pregnant.
within like 2 weeks of each
Not
other.
John Cena's kid. Side note. We
There's
should
gonna
preface.
Did you see him throw shade after their
He did
announcement?
throw a little shade, yes.
Really?
John, that's my guy.
On Twitter.
Did he really? But
Ba-
he
basically-
didn't want kids.
He didn't.
And his response was, "Don't let people change who you are." That was the premise of his
I like
tweet.
that.
Like 6 minutes after they made their announcement.
If you want to have an
It was
interesting...
it was petty.
I
Petty-
would say
Petty-
so.
Petty Cena was
I would
in
like
full
to
effect.
see him a little better than that. I'm disappointed by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New thing for Small Plate Charlie. He likes to listen to wrestling promos on YouTube.
Well, you were saying before he likes
And
to
theme
quote,
songs?
He likes to quote Macho Man.
Oh,
right?
all the
Hold
time.
on, hold on. When you say he likes to, does that just mean he's in
Well,
the room when Dad does?
Maybe
or-
he heard me sing one
or-
and he was kind of into it. So then I turned it on and he may have heard it, but he loves the John Cena theme song.
Oh,
He'll just
man.
go, my time is now, 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 now. He'll keep doing now, 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 now. It's so funny.
In the top right corner, we have a little Ric Flair. I'm correct. He loves the Ric Flair drip too, right?
He does. And you know the really bad part, the one that a parent should never let his son or daughter listen to? He goes, Ric Flair drip, go woo on a pitch.
At least he doesn't
Says on a
understand it.
pitch. He censors himself. What a good
Hey,
kid.
he's smart.
In the world of hockey, guys, this is pretty interesting. This was released by the Philadelphia Police. Gritty, that's the Flyers mascot, will not be charged after Dad said the mascot punched his 13-year-old
Free
son.
Gritty.
Look at this. I don't trust a thing Gritty says. What the hell is that?
Oh, do you know, like when they first came out with him, he was like hated, and they wanted to get rid of him, and then it just like became their thing they owned.
He turned heel.
Yeah,
He did.
He
Yeah.
went full heel.
It was-
Well,
it's a
now he
great
punches
story.
kids, so
But he got off, so he's good, right?
yeah, he did get off. Anyways,
He's like an orange grimace.
yeah, he is.
Instead of stealing hamburgers, he's stealing hopes and dreams of Philadelphia sports fans.
not steal cookies, I tell you that.
Oh wow! Well,
I'll
you know
punch
what's
him in the
happening?
face.
You know what's happening right now? We'll transition.
All right, and gentle reminder, guys, if you're joining us late, Twitter/Periscope links do not work, so the live show did not appear. Please click on it. Click on it. Wow, click on it. Click on it. Click on it quickly, or go to YouTube or Facebook, please.
Ryan is on fire. He just used the last name of Dikembe Mutombo as a noun. He said, and he Mutombo'd a nun. Are we talking about Gritty?
You mean an
We got to be talking about Gritty.
You mean a verb? You meant a verb, but that's fine.
What did I say?
He did.
Noun.
I meant verb, yes.
It's a copy editor over here.
Sorry.
Hey, nice catch.
Correct you. Yeah.
Editor blood.
We'll let it out on the back end. Yeah.
All right, guys. So in the spirit of the return of the XFL, this week's impression session is going to focus on the first press conference that Vince McMahon ever did. Let me take you back to the year 2000. This was just a month after I thought the world was going to end because of the Y2K problem. Yeah. I was a truther.
You really were worried about
I was
that?
an original truther.
What a weird spot for that league to exist between Y2K and like 9/11. Like that's just such a weird spot for anything to exist.
Yeah. They should have just waited till 2020,
Right.
turns out. Anyways.
Anyway,
February 3rd, 2000, at the WWE, formerly WWF restaurant in Times Square, I visited the worst food ever.
yeah.
You
Was
think
it like Planet Hollywood?
Dude,
Oh my
Planet Hollywood is a 3 Michelin star restaurant
Wow.
compared to WWF.
I'm sad I know what Michelin star means.
Well, that's okay.
I watch
Yeah.
a lot of Food Network.
Yeah, that's okay. And we're fat. So anyways,
Yep.
Vince McMahon had a very famous press conference in
I
which
remember.
he was extremely confident, we would say,
And colorful.
about the XFL. So in this segment, guys, the gentlemen to my right and left are going to choose one of the voices I do. I will read the quotes in that voice. Now, guys, we have essentially 5 quotes here that I've
Right.
picked out from that press conference. You can mix them up. You can do whatever you'd like. Blake, I'm going to start with you because Mike's losing his shit and he's not going to be able to give me one in time. I can just tell. I could just tell.
No, Blake, go
So
ahead.
why don't I give
I see
you?
how it is.
I'll give you 1 and 2 because they're a little bit longer. Mike will
Okay.
take 3 through 5. Go ahead.
All right.
We'll
do number. We'll just start at the beginning. We'll go number
You
1.
mean with the first one?
with the first one.
Okay.
And let's go Charles Barkley.
All right.
We haven't heard Charles in a while.
All right. Here he goes. It has been a while.
It has been a
Jesus.
while.
Where's my kind of football the NFL used to be? You know, the league I used to drop hundreds of thousands of dollars on and then get trouble with the IRS on? Where's my smash mouth wide open football? Like the stuff they used to play in Arkansas. I'm from there, but I went to Auburn, for the record. It's gone.
All right, Jay.
Oh man.
I mean, Charles.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's been a while.
I'll be honest. This next one, so
Yeah.
only because it says about being, only because of the last line,
Okay.
and because I've loved the impression so much in recent weeks. I
hear
want
it.
Bill Walton.
Got him before I could.
You know, I played in a league called the NBA. And that stood for nothing but assets, because that's exactly what I was, Blake. I'm still an asset for ESPN during college basketball. I live in Hawaii, but I come over to the lower 48 just to do games.
So anyways, the quote
anyways.
is,
Some suggest that the NFL stands for No Fun League. The XFL is going to stand for the Extra Fun League. And you know what? Speaking of extra, Blake, I hope Luke's team puts some extra work in at the gym here at the All-Star break. They're god-awful.
Very nice.
Your Walton's getting really good.
It's
You're
not
honing it.
bad. It's, you know, it could use a little Birkenstock of attitude, but that's okay.
What is a Birkenstock of attitude, Bill?
It means a lot of attitude, Mike.
You know who else,
Don't
you know
try
who
to
else
give
has
you
a
know
lot of
what?
attitude?
what's that?
Randy Savage on the next quote.
Okay.
We will take you to a place where NFL's afraid to take you. Because quite frankly, we're not afraid of anything. Especially you, Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat. Cup of coffee, yeah.
I just pictured that one where he's just like spinning around.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just like
360
the
degrees.
creamers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
The freak out's good too.
Freak out. Yeah. All right. You haven't. I don't want to
Why
always
don't you
get...
combine the two? Because these are short. I feel like,
All right.
just my opinion. Just my opinion.
I just love hearing Doris Burke say inappropriate things.
Okay, great. Let's hear it.
Well, I made her say the National Lampoon thing, so
That's why.
poor Doris. We'll have to have her on.
I wish. That'd be great.
Oh,
By the way, I
Doris, we
admire.
love it.
She's one of my
she is.
favorite
Yeah, Doris is
people
cool.
in media.
Oh, no
For
doubt.
the record.
Yeah. We do this out of respect. in
Her
my
and
opinion.
Chris Myers. Yeah, I only do impressions of those. By the way, it was so great to see Chris on the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Oh, he did a
God,
good
that
job.
made
He did
my
a great
day.
job.
Love
we'll
that
we'll have
guy.
to have him on this
Yes, we
offseason.
will. Yes, we will. All right, anyways, Blake, this will not be a league for pantywaifs and sissies. This will be a blast. Just like the All-Star game, because LeBron's going to be a captain again.
Do you think Drake will be on the sideline?
Drake will not be on the sideline, Michael. He only goes to games in Canada. More specifically, the Toronto Raptors. He and that one season ticket holder with the turban that goes at every game. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, he's legit.
Yeah, he's at every game.
The
Great
Sixer fan.
mustache,
Are
too.
you
Back to
saying-
you, LeBron.
Are you saying Drake doesn't go down south?
Wow, why?
To the lower 48, like Bill Walton was talking about.
Don't listen. You don't bring me into any of this, Michael. Okay? I'm just over
we'll have
here in
to-
Hawaii
Sorry.
enjoying my time.
As soon as we get something with a dialogue, we'll have to have Bill and Doris have a dialogue sometime.
Okay.
I want to
do
just
that.
I want to put you in a wig and then
In
another
a wig, okay.
and just
This
go
is
back
getting
and
really
forth
weird.
and have a video. I want to do it. I want to just
Okay. That'd be
something.
fun.
Doris and Bill Walton would be a great interview.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She could interview him.
How long is his hair right now?
Oh, yeah. So I'm waiting for Jay to tell us how everything's made up. Oh, yes. He is definitely a truther, Bill.
It's all. And you know what, too, guys? I saw Shakira shake her tongue like that at the Super Bowl halftime show. That's a quality of a lizard person. Did you know that? They
Oh,
show their
no.
tongue,
Are we-
it's jagged, and then their eyes
We're not in the
shift.
after hours yet, Bill.
Well, that's okay. We got other stuff to talk about in the after hours, David.
Wow, I just called you David.
This has gone off the rails.
Speaking of other stuff, guys, the Big Play family of shows keeps you laughing all week long, starting on Mondays. Blitz Football, guys, has retired for the season. They are taking a little time off.
Little hiatus.
Little hiatus.
I feel like their livers need the time off.
Why do they not talk CFL? You're in Canada.
Oh, we could
I
start
gotta
some
take
beef.
that up to 'em.
You
Anyways,
should.
Who did
you? Where were you working that you actually were a huge? You were
Oh,
following.
I went to a
big?
lot of CFL games. Yeah, when I was a software sales representative.
What team did you go to
The
most
Winnipeg
in?
Blue Bombers.
Winnipeg, that
Big
was it.
Winnipeg fan. Yeah.
Huh.
Winnipeg's kind of like Canada's Detroit, if I'm being honest, except they do win some games.
I was gonna say, didn't they win a several?
And you
in a
shouldn't go there after dark.
It's true. Unless you have loonies and toonies, eh? Anyways, on Monday night still is the Big Play Cleveland Reflog show. That's at 9 o'clock. Dave, Breezy Clee, Gab, new cast member. You've seen her at Indians games. And, of course, McNeil, bringing you all your Cleveland sports talk. Tuesday, a Birdland BS.
Birdman did it.
At 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Scott and Fred, love those guys. Great insight about sports in that region. Right now, a lot of Terps talk, which is fun.
Say, kicking up some Orioles stuff, too.
Yeah. Oh, God.
They got a few more
They
years.
should
so
just
that's
keep
worth
that.
it.
Right. Wednesday nights, you know who the hells we be. We're the Big Play Podcast here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you all your national stories from coast to coast. Big Play Gaming, just follow him because he's going to go on whenever the heck he wants. That's
You
at
should be.
Big Play Gaming.
With the Apex new season, he's been out there talking about it. He's been doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have
Follow
to get
Mike
on.
at my girl. Yeah, these two, the two youths here, they're on quite a bit with Mike.
I wouldn't say that. We're on here and there.
Blake, I'm trying to give you credit. And listen to that.
I'm an optimist. Or not an optimist. I'm a...
This guy, he's a corrector, isn't
Yeah.
he, Mike?
He likes to be accurate.
Yeah, he likes to be accurate. Follow us at Twitter at Big Play Podcast, at BigPlay_com for all of our great shows and articles. I am at the Big Play J. Follow me, gentleman to my right at Big Play Beats, gentleman to my left at Big Play Blake. Stick around for a little after hours. In the meantime, thanks for coming in, Playmakers. We'll see ya.
So I realized
Yeah.
we talked Ponderosa last week.
Oh,
I'm still mad at you guys about this.
And I didn't get to tell my story because we
Okay.
got so far into Little Play Weston.
Go ahead.
So
Well, you should put your child first. That's a good lesson
Yeah,
to
so,
learn here, buddy.
So, strike one on Ponderosa. No social media for me to tag them in last week, by the way. So, anyways,
Well, they're kind of struggling.
there's only 54 locations, you said?
Yeah, 54
remaining
in the U.S.
And the closest one was
7 in Ohio.
closest one was like an hour and a half from us.
Carrollton, Ohio. Shout out to Carroll
It's
County.
still in Carrollton?
That's down by me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Dude,
got rid
that's
of the
like
ones,
a 3 Michelin restaurant
they,
down there.
they got
bro.
rid of the ones in the Hall of Fame city long ago.
They sure did, yeah.
So, but anyways, so the mall in Canton, there was one right across the street.
The Millette Mall?
No. Belton
one?
Village Mall.
Wow. Okay.
So, there one time, eating, regrettably.
Okay.
And everybody's, it's quiet. It's busy. It's like a Friday night. What's the worst thing, just opinions, what's the worst thing you could see at a buffet?
A hair.
I don't want to know. Nails, fingers.
Mike, just what's the worst thing you can think of?
finger.
Your in-laws. I'm
my
kidding.
in-laws.
No, I like yours too, Blake.
What's the worst thing you could think of?
Apparently my face.
So, sitting there
love that
eating, sitting there eating, and thank God I went up before this person, this
Yeah.
youngster, kid probably, I don't know, 7, 8 years old.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm going there,
no.
boys. I'm going there, boys. So, the mashed potatoes.
No.
Oh, no.
No. Go.
Kids, he's putting them on his plate. His mom's standing right behind him.
Okay.
Right behind him.
Yeah?
Putting it on his plate, puts 2 big ass scoops on his plate. Sticks it back in, pulls it out, and eats right off the big spoon.
Oh, God.
I'm so happy that's where it's ended.
But wait,
Yeah.
there's
Oh, no.
more.
I thought it was
But
gonna
wait,
get
there's
worse.
more.
I thought it was
No.
worse.
And this is probably why the place is shut down. The mom just goes, she grabs it from him and sticks it back in the potatoes.
Oh, no.
And there was a worker there that saw the whole thing happen. Didn't replace potatoes.
That's so messed up. I wouldn't go back. Did you go back?
Never stepped foot inside one ever again.
Wow.
And it was actually probably like, I've only been in a couple of those establishments. And that was actually the nicer one that I'd been in.
Okay.
So even the nice one had its flaws.
So you brought that up, and you know what it had me thinking about? Do you guys remember Rax?
Yeah.
Rax was huge
roast
back
beef,
in
yeah.
back in our
RAX?
region. RAX.
Yeah, RAX.
no idea.
There was
Right.
one. There was one in my hometown. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was one in Steubenville too. Roast beef.
Yep.
Very similar to Arby's.
Yeah,
if
it was
we're
basically
being
like
honest. It's
Arby's
basically
before Arby's.
Arby's adjacent minus Pharrell wearing their hat. I went down a
Solid
Rax.
connection.
Yeah, I went down a Rax wormhole this weekend too. 3 locations in Ohio
Still
remaining.
Are you dieting?
There's only 8 of them
in the country,
left. Yes.
and 3 of them are in the state.
Yes. They're used to, at its height,
You're
there
not-
were over 250 in the Midwest alone. And,
You're not doing what The Bachelor did for Cleveland and Ohio last week.
What?
What are you
Making us-
talking about?
everything
What is
that's like
possessing
failing is
Rax
coming-
to stay alive
That's
with
what I
8
said. Just
restaurants?
get rid of it, sell it, move on with it.
I want to find a Rax, though.
So you referenced Carroll
Rax
County
on
before?
Rax on Rax.
Did you guys ever have the Carl's Jr. Hardee's and then the
Oh, yeah.
and
Yes.
then the Checkers versus Rallies arguments?
Yes.
I didn't have the argument.
So up here it's Rallies in
Yep.
the north,
Yeah.
and down south it's Checkers.
Same
Yes.
company?
Yep.
Same
Never knew
same
that.
everything. Mm-hmm. Sandwiches called the same everything, and I literally had somebody in the south tell me that they're 2 different restaurants. Rax
Wow. Like you had
or Rallies and Checkers are 2
You had to
different
have that
restaurants.
argument.
Same thing.
rough.
I'm like, dude, it's like a Pontiac and a Chevy. It's the same thing. It's slightly different.
Right.
You mentioned Carroll County.
Yes.
I love that you're giving a
shout out to
shout-out.
Carroll County.
27,385 people live in Carroll County as of 20. Oh, this is from 2017.
That
Yeah.
industrial metropolis needs a
My,
Ponderosa.
cousin Michael. Shout out to cousin Mike, the prosecuting attorney
Hey-o.
in Carroll County. So he oversees all those constituents, Mike,
No
if you
big
want to know.
deal.
No big deal. You knew our family was royalty. Guys, if you go back to the notes, I'd like you to both click on this link, and maybe that's where we'll end tonight's discussion. So it's never too late, or excuse me, never too early to talk NFL football again.
Oh, yes.
Vegas has already put out its odds for teams that are going to make it to
I'm
the
already-
Super Bowl
I'm
and
already
win.
insulted.
Here are those odds. Here are the I'll give you the top 5. Of course, the Kansas City Chiefs come in at the favorites at 5-1. The Baltimore Orioles at 8-1. Orioles, Ravens. San Francisco 49ers. Of course, we're in Super Bowl 54 this year at 8-1. The New Orleans Saints at 10-1. The Dallas Cowboys at 12-1. That's actually a lot better than some I've seen.
Hot take: 3 of those 5 teams you just mentioned won't even win their division.
I don't disagree.
Boom.
I don't disagree. And
All right, so I could see the 49ers struggling because you have Seattle. It's a good division.
Yep.
Right? We have Seattle in there. It's going to be competitive. Kansas City's, they're going back, right?
Yeah.
49ers is the one I say. The Saints?
Saints, definitely.
49ers, Saints, and Cowboys will not win their division.
I agree with that. I don't disagree at all.
Let me rephrase. The Saints won't win it if they don't have Breeze. And they still may not win it if they have him. But they definitely won't if they don't have him.
Who do you think takes that? Who are you?
Teddy
going with?
Two Gloves, bro. No, I'm kidding.
No, I
Takes the job, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they're saying they might let Bridgewater walk, and they
I
might
think
go with
they're letting
Taysom
him
Hill.
walk.
Yeah.
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 Who wins that division, you asked, Mike?
Yeah, who are you thinking right now if you say that?
I honestly think that Carolina's going to have a great year. If Cam comes back healthy, I think Carolina's
I hope
very
he
I
good.
could
does.
see that.
I really hope Cam does.
I
cheering
think
for
they're going
Matt
to be.
Rule.
I think they're going to be an underrated team coming in. They're going to be a bottom-rated team for previews, but there's just something about it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially with what's his the LSU guy coming in as the O coordinator. His name's
Oh,
escaping
yes,
me.
yes. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Not Madden.
But he and
Joe
Matt,
Madden?
Joe,
Not joking.
no, not
just
Joel
messing-
Madden.
I'm
You mean
messing with you.
baseball's Joe Pesci?
Yeah.
He looks just like me, eh?
You know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, Matt Rule, program maker, man. And I think that was very much a Cam move. We talked about it before.
Yeah.
I think it was a move to keep Cam.
Yeah.
I could see that. No, I don't disagree with you, Blake. I like that.
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady. Okay. Yep. What are some other notable ones? The Patriots, this is probably just a respect rating right here at 14-1. The Steelers sinking up 16-1.
Vegas thinks I'm crazy. They have the second worst odds for the Panthers.
Yeah. Put some money on them,
That's
man.
when you lose Kuechly, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You
Kuechly
likely
retires.
Olsen.
Right.
Olsen's gone.
I just think there's somebody else in that division. It may, if it's not the Panthers, somebody else in that division.
Yeah, I don't see the Falcons sliding into that role at all.
I don't know. There's something about that division seems unpredictable for next year. I don't know. I can't put my
NFL,
finger on it.
everything's unpredictable.
But I just
yeah.
can't. Yeah, but you can say that you have a very good feeling about some teams, like you said, the Chiefs and the Ravens. And, you know, but
Look how high they have the Steelers, too.
Yeah. Here's a really surprising
is
one.
Big Ben even going to be ready to go though?
Well, he's got to lose some weight, but he can play football.
That's every year, yeah. Nothing's changed
I'm
there.
sorry, that injury is worse than they let on.
You think
Oh, yeah.
And they said it wasn't Tommy John surgery, but what other elbow ligament surgery requires basically a full?
so? You don't think
year?
this was like a...
I don't think it was as little of an injury as they claim it was.
so you don't think this was the NFL's version of a...
Cover up?
not a
Bum,
cover-up.
bum, bum.
The NBA does it all the time, where they just...
Like load management.
Not load. I can't even think of the word. Where they just fail. They don't care. They want to
Well-
lose for lottery picks.
If by load managing he put loads on, that is load management.
No, because if you were going to do that, it would be this season, so you get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
you think they would do it there?
That's true.
Yeah.
What's guys? Look at this. So I want you to take a look at, let's say, teams that are 25-1 odds or worse. What's a team there that surprises you? One that you think is going to be better than others, or
The
prognosticating?
Titans.
I saw that too. 40-1. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
So I love the Titans,
Yeah.
but that style of play is really... So they're going to be a competitive team each week.
Yes.
If they don't have injuries, right? And if they can sign Henry, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to pound the ball. It's going to be short games. Same
I
thing.
see. I don't put much weight into these until free agency hits.
No, you got to have free agency, but even then, like you got to see through this sexy stuff during
Because
free agency, right?
a team like the Raiders, say they get, just spitting this out there, and even though he's not in his prime anymore, say they get Brady,
Yeah.
that immediately improves their chances.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, like, so I don't.
we
These
think,
don't
yeah.
hold much credence for me.
Seahawks 20-1.
That's why I said I'm insulted.
Are you? Wow.
Insulted. Vegas.
Salted.
But I think the reason why it's that high is
And
that's a tough division.
And that's exactly why I said that that over bet for the Super Bowl was a sucker bet. And if you took the over, you're a sucker.
Hey, Blake, real
You took the
question.
over?
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my prediction was like
giant
41-38.
Hey, real question about the Seahawks next season. Are they just going to line up and win a game easily? They make things very difficult for themselves each freaking week.
It's
Can't they just line up and win a
predicated on
damn
health,
game?
man. They've had
Jesus.
somebody banged up or something going
key
on
player,
every
yeah.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just been
Or last year,
well,
how many running backs went down the last 3
all
weeks?
of them.
All of the running
They
backs.
had Marshawn Lynch and a guy that was bagging groceries the week before, like Kurt Warner.
They actually left a
With a
voicemail
K.
for me, but I had to turn him down. I was too busy on Wednesday nights.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Homer was on the practice squad, and Homer, and then
I feel like
they obviously
Peter Griffin
signed-
was singing Shaboopy, but
Al
obviously
Bundy. Al
signed
Bundy could
Beast
still
Mode.
go.
yeah.
4 touchdowns.
They're saying
in a high
Beast Mode
school
might come
football
back.
game.
A little farewell tour.
You think he's been working on his chicken,
I think
his
it's time.
bread,
Mentals?
his mentals?
If it's him, it's for a paycheck at this point, right? He's not.
No, it's not. He's saved all his money almost.
Oh, I'm saying, but like he's doing it for a paycheck. I'm not saying he needs the paycheck.
No, I think he would come back if he thinks they have a legitimate shot at winning.
So I'm saying I don't think he still has it.
No, he
think
wouldn't be
he's
your
past-
featured back. He
don't
would
even-
be would be your goal line, short yardage. I mean, he wouldn't be Carson and Penny are your featured back. And
Yeah.
personally, I think
Right.
one of them aren't on the roster by the trade deadline next year.
Yeah, with Carson's injury history and fumble history,
Right.
Yeah.
and Penny is so inconsistent, right?
Injuries as well.
As well, yeah.
So personally, I think one of them's gone by the deadline next year. Somebody with a hurt running back or somebody's going to trade for one of them too.
Interesting.
Probably Penny.
Speaking of consistency, guys, we'll be here next Wednesday.
Yes,
we
we
are
will.
talking about, we failed to say it earlier, but Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, a group we're very close with. Hector Lombard will be on with us, former UFC fighter and
34
contender.
and 10, I think, is record.
Yeah,
is.
yeah. So he's
Great
a
fighter.
great fighter. We look forward to talking to him. Join us next week. Look out for the show. We'll be sending it out. Follow us on Twitter. Otherwise, guys, we'll see ya.
Bye.
Wow, what was that?